What it is, guys, is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Girl, I'm hoping to see justice before all fades to black. It's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, just getting off from work. It is almost 1 a.m., girl. So I'm gonna try to finish before I get home, so I could just walk in the door, upload, and then this video will come out in the middle of the night. But I was reviewing Miss Rajiva the Ruler's video about it was how probation affects my mental health. Okay, so I'm gonna complete reviewing the video. Hopefully y'all checked out that first part, y'all, that I did this morning, and y'all also checked out her video because it is really good. So let's finish reviewing this really quickly so I can go home. It might cut off, girl, abruptly because my phone ain't charged too well.
Counter where she was at. That has never. It's really frustrating. I'm trying not to cry because it's really frustrating because, you know, I do everything I'm supposed to do. I try to be a law-abiding citizen, but it's like something that happened so long ago keeps affecting my life because the way that lady made me feel, like, it was so, like, demeaning for you to tell me to pick up that cup off the ground after you just seen me wash my hands. So now I'm gonna have to wash my hands again. And on top of that, I had to wait to wash my hands because after I picked it up, put it up there, you told me to sit down. I can't sit down, but I have to sit down because you told me to sit down. So now I have to wash my hands again, sit down, and then you tell me to come back over there and grab that cup and pour it in the toilet and then throw it away. So I just had to wash my hands 3 times while you have gloves on.
Okay, so if you didn't catch those videos, then you wouldn't know what she's talking about. She's talking about her probation, where she has to go to her monthly, I guess, check-in, and she has to do a urine and lap. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't even say it. It's too late. But she has to do those every time she goes because she is an ex-drug offender. I don't even know how to say that right now. My head gone to bed. But my body still won't. But anyways, that's part of her probation, that she has to do those. But the lady basically told her to put the cup down on the ground, and then after she put it down on the ground, took care of business, the lady was like, okay, now sit it up on the counter. And she's like, well, why didn't you just have me sit it on the counter before? Because now I got to wash my hands again and again and again. Like, come on now. Why would you wouldn't want to do something like that? But you expect me to. And it's like, she was saying, I don't know if she knew how that made me feel, but that kind of made me feel like, you know. And she also said it makes her emotional because, you know, people see you in a certain light when you are ex-offender. You're coming to check in and stuff, and people treat you a certain way. And she's like, this is something that happened over 10 years ago, and I'm still, like, I will never finish paying this debt off, like, because you're not allowing me to. You're never allowing me to be, you know, free fully because you hold this cloud over my head that I'm an ex-offender. You know what I mean? So that's where she is coming in at.
You have gloves on. You wouldn't have had to wash. Literally sitting on the toilet, and this lady is right here, and I could have handed her the cup after I was done, and she could have sat it on the counter and tested it. I would have sat on the toilet, waited on the test to be, you know, negative, because I know it's going to be negative. And then she could have passed me back the cup to pour in the toilet while I'm sitting on it. And I could have threw it in the trash can that's sitting right there. And then got up, pulled my clothes up, let her see the toilet. And there ain't nothing like, you know, in there that I could have finagled the test, flushed the toilet, washed my hands, and been out of there. And I know there's probably people like, girl, you on probation. Like, you do what they tell you to do. Like, it is what it is. Like, you shouldn't have did the crime. All of that is correct.
Oh, I hate when people say that. That's irritating cliche. Don't do the time. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. That I cannot stand that.
Never had a drug test go like that. And like the way she didn't even touch the cup. She did not touch the cup, not one time. Not once. I see one of my listen, I would be disgusted too if I had to like touch people's urine and like, you know, test their bodily fluids. I would be disgusted too. That's why I would not apply for a job where I have to do that. That's why I would not be a probation officer. I would not go be a nurse. I would not go be a CNA. I would not go and do these things because I don't want to touch your urine. I don't want to see you naked. I don't want to have to watch you wipe yourself on the toilet. I don't want to do none of that. So I'm not going to do it. But it's like this lady did not want to touch that cup. Like, y'all don't know how. So demeaning. I should have just tested my own urine. Like, I should have just did the test myself. And it just irritates me because for so many reasons, you know, the urine analysis wasn't the biggest deal, but when I run through situations like that, when it surprises me, because I thought it was going to be just like a good day. When I run through stuff like that and it surprises me, it's like, you know how you have that little negative thing sitting on your shoulder and it's like, yeah, you got to go through this for the next 7.5 years.
That. Now, I don't know about from her standpoint, you know, that she has to go through that for the next 7.5 years. But as a prison wife, girl, I sure feel that. In my first part of this video, I was telling you about how, though I'm not an ex-offender, I'm not an offender at all, I can understand how low they try to make you feel. And I've been through some situations where they kind of demean us as the family of incarcerated citizens and make you feel like you're lower, and you have to go through these humiliating things just to see your loved ones. Like when I was strip searched during that time of freaking month, and the lady made me squat, cough, and I'm like, lady, I need to keep something right there. She had me butt behind naked because my button went off. And one of the guards knew it was, she was like, it's her button. Like, you don't have to strip search her. The lady was so gung-ho. She wanted to strip search me so freaking bad. And I was so humiliated after that. And I was like, I was crying when I sat down for visitation. I was like, Marcello, if I had to go through this type of humiliation to see you, I don't think I'll be seeing you no more. And I promise you, I did not go back to visitation to see him. That was that facility that was close to the house. Like, I literally did not go back a couple of weeks. I was like, no, I'm not. This is too much. Like, they already downgrade them. And then the incarcerated citizens, the men, they already are like, Marcello says the process of even going into visitation for them, like, that's humiliating for them to have to do that, because they do strip search them. They strip search them. They got to squat and cough and all that other stuff before they come to visitation. And he was like, that's really humiliating. But I go through that every single time to come up there to see my family. But me, I'm not used to that. I'm like, this is way too much. So to know that, like she said, I got to do this for the next 7 years. Well, for me, if my husband don't get home, I got to be like feeling like this for the next 20 years almost. Like, it doesn't never end. And then also, like, once he get out, well, I get to that in a moment.
Yep, you'll never get away from it. Yep, This is your life. This is what you have to go through. But I rebuke that devil and send it back to the pits of jail.
Pits of jail,
Feelings
yes.
are not facts. And just because I feel some type of way about my check-in.
Oh, that was the part I was going to say. Like, she was saying that she has to do that for the next 7 years or so because she'll be on probation for that long. With Marcello and his impossible A sentence, after he does his 40 years, he will never be off of probation. They gave him so much probation that he'll die on probation. Like, it's like, how do you even look to that point when you're actually free? Like, I guess it's levels to freedom. Even us that think we're 100% free. We're not 100% free. I try to explain that to Marcello too, because he's like, anytime anything's going on, and he's always like, well, at least you're free. And I'm like, Marcello, I know we have we have more freedom than you have, but we're still very much controlled and very much contained by other means. Like, out here in society, it's like a mental prison. They have us in mental prison. They're limiting us through invisible, boundaries, but they're still there. If you live within this, like this workshop life, me constantly having to be at work, I am a freaking artist. When do I ever do my art? And we're getting to the point where I'm past 40 something, like my hands like are really bad. How much time do I have left in my hands to be an artist? Do I logically have a lot of time left? But I can't even pursue my art career fully because I have to freaking work to live and live to work. Like, there's no, oh, you're an artist, so you don't have to go to work. I'll just be an artist on the street. Like, or I'll be an artist that can't pay their car insurance, or I'll be an artist that can't put gas in the car. So no matter what, I got to carry my butt to my workshop. I always have to work. Those are boundaries put on us. And they very much are doing this purposefully, so that you're so busy, you're so consumed, you can't make ends meet, to where you just live in survival mode. You just work, and you look up one day and you're gone. Or you look up one day and you're sick. Or you look up one day and you just cannot function the way you used to function. And then it's over. But at the end of your life, how much life have you lived? Because it ain't free out here. We're not living freely. Bills are keeping us bound. Jobs are keeping us bound. I know it's keeping me bound. Where we can live is keeping us bound. You can't live in a 100%, good neighborhood unless you can afford stuff like that. Not 100%. You ain't gonna find that nowhere. But a decent neighborhood. You're not gonna attend decent schools without being loaded down with money. So the lack of money is keeping us bound, and we're always trying to get the next dollar. Anytime we come up a little bit, they raise everything much, much higher to where we can't afford it. So that's keeping us bound. But when will we live the free life? So I try to explain that to him, that I'm not 100% free like you say. And there's a lot of trouble going on out here, a lot of problems, but I can understand that he feels like, to be free is just everything, because he is wrongfully incarcerated, and he is, having his life put on a shelf, and his life is very much being wasted, being warehoused. He's being warehoused, and he could be so much more beneficial out here, but they don't care about that, right? Because we're just another dollar to them. So I'm sorry to get off on that tangent, but I was just relating to that. When will I be free? That she says 7 years or so that she has left. But I, in a different type of way, feel as though, when am I going to be free? Or when is Marcello going to be free? You know what I mean? And to have that sitting over your head and knowing this is how I'm going to have to live. Like, literally, I'm trying to accept that you're going to be this artist that basically they're going to be burying you with half of the gifts inside of you, that they're not going to see the light, and like she said, I'm not going to receive that I'm sending that back to the pits of jail, girl.
7.5 years. And it's like, Yep, you'll never get away from it. Yep, this is your life. This is what you have to go through.
The devil always tries to remind you.
But I rebuke that devil and send it back to the pits of hell.
Pits of jail.
Feelings are not facts. And just because I feel some type of way about my check-in does not mean that lady did it intentionally. Maybe she just, don't want to touch it and she didn't think about how it would make me feel. Maybe she did.
But I think if we all start seeing people, no matter what, stance they are in life or what stance you are in life, if we stop seeing people as either above us or beneath us, and we just see people as people, and we just treat them equally, that's how we're supposed to live like crazy. We're supposed to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. But we don't do that. We do not live by that. But if we truly lived by that, do you know how the world would sure be way better than it is? It would almost be like utopia or something. Play.
Surprises me because I thought it was going to be just like a good day. When I run through stuff like that and it surprises me, it's like, how you have that little negative thing sitting on your shoulder and it's like, yeah, you got to go through this for the next 7.5 years. And it's like, yep, you'll never get away from it. Yep, this is your life. This is what you have to go through. But I rebuke that devil and send it back to the pits of hell, okay? Feelings are not facts. And just because I feel some type of way about my check-in does not mean that lady did it intentionally. Maybe she just, don't want to touch it and she didn't think about how it will make me feel. Maybe she did. But regardless, okay, it is what it is. And when I get off probation, this will be another reminder.
Oh, happy day.
Not to do anything to get put back on probation again. So to you people who watch my channel, and I'm trying not to get emotional because I am right now, but to you people who watch my channel, I appreciate y'all, with the views and the support and the positive things that y'all say in my comments. But what I need y'all to understand more than anything, why I continue to get on here and tell y'all all of my business and tell y'all what I go through, is because I want y'all to see what's on the other side when you don't make decisions thinking about your future. When you make decisions.
And she said, why I get on here and tell y'all all my business. Now, I felt that. I thought she was finna say something else. I thought she was gonna say, I get on here and tell you all my business because I want you to start seeing ex-offenders as, people too, as I'm your girl next door, as I could be your sister, I could be your auntie, I could be anybody in the community, your teacher, your whatever. I even seen while Marcella was in prison, I look up on the news and one of the guards that we visit all the time and see her every time at visitation, she was up there on the screen in jail. They were showing she was in jail. So it could be anybody, any of us. That's what I thought she was going to say, that I'm trying to bring a face that you're not too far above to be, in this position. But she's actually going to say something better than what I thought, right? But for me, that is why I do the same thing. I tell y'all all no, girl, I keep a lot of stuff personal, but I tell y'all everything concerning this prison wife life, because I too want to bring a face to prison wives, that we're not the trash that most people think a prison wife is. People think a prison wife is just somebody that's just so gung-ho, like it's Bonnie and Clyde. Oh, he out there committing crimes and I'm just gonna hold him down and I'm right here, baby, come on, I got the bail. That is not what a prison wife is. Anybody could be thrusted in these shoes. Girl, I was on the verge of getting married and being happily ever after. And then all of a sudden, the coin was flipped to the other side. And it was like, no, you finna be a single mother. You finna be with somebody through bars. Where did this? It just dropped in my lap. So it could have been anybody. Now, granted, most people do not stay around like I do. A lot of people, this situation happens to, and quickly they gone. They're not gonna sit there and wait with these people. But there are some that do the time with their husbands. But I hope that I am bringing some type of opening some people's eyes that may be closed-eyed and believe the stereotypes and believe, a lot of what they try to make you want, to try to make you or condition you to believe. Like, I hope I am changing some people's minds. But let's finish this part out with her, and then I'm gonna be going home and going to bed.
Thinking about how it will affect you later. Like, it is literally not worth it. It is literally not worth it. I got arrested November 7, 2010.
Yeah.
It is 2023, and I am still dealing with a day that happened in 2010. Decisions that I made all the way back in 2010, when I was still trying to develop my mind at 18 and 19 years old. I am still dealing with
Can you imagine having to pay a debt from 18 and 19? At 18 and 19, I'm sure I done did some crazy ass stuff. If I had to keep continually paying and paying and paying and paying for that, girl, can you imagine? It would almost make you not want to do better, because they will never see you as no better than that. Like, oh, girl, God bless you.
y'all, just stay out of trouble. Don't commit no crimes. Get you a job. And the slow money might be irritating, but I promise you, the slow money being irritating feels better than going in the probation office and having to decipher between your feelings if the person that demeans you did it on purpose or not.
And also, with that said, watch the company you keep, because like my mama always told me, you ain't got to be doing nothing wrong, but the person next to you can be, and you can go right on down. Like they told her, I'ma sink you on the ship with them. All right, here's your girl Cadillac.